So about 2 months ago, I got this brand new bottle in, Loumari Porthole, and the minute I got this in, people started trying to ask me to draw comparisons to another fragrance that I hadn't tried at that point in time, which was Stephanie Humbert Lucas, and it's God of Fire. I know it's a TikTok hyped fragrance, while on the other hand, this one wasn't really known until about a month ago when it started becoming super hyped, almost up to the level of God of Fire, which it's not quite there. But today, I'm going to be letting you guys know which one's better, why it's better, comparing the two, and then giving a score at the end of Loumari Porthole versus, and this is Stephanie Humbert Lucas, God of Fire. Thank you to Newt for sending that to me, by the way. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude. Thank you guys so much for joining me for yet another video where I'm going to be talking about two different fragrances and getting back into my versus battles. Prepare for battle. So before we get into this versus battle, make sure that everybody, if you like my content and you're not already, hit the subscribe button. Also, comment below. Let me know which one of these you prefer. If you've tried either of them, which one you want to try if you haven't. And then also, everybody on the way in, hit that like button. So again, my versus battles, I haven't done them in a while, but what I do is I take 2 to 3 fragrances, I compare them to each other, and then I let you know which one is worth the pickup, which one's the best, and then I give my rating for the fragrances. If you guys have any recommendations, make sure to put them in the comments of other versus battles you guys want me to do. I also have a playlist for versus battles if you want to go check that out. And then if I have the fragrances, I'll obviously do them, or if I don't, I'll make sure I put it aside if I'm interested in doing that. So today, again, it's Loumari Porthole versus God of Fire that was sent to me by Newt. So this is what God of Fire's bottle looked like. I wanted to buy this bottle so much, but as soon as I got this little dipstick atomizer from Mo that got me literally like to rub it on my skin once. And I was like, that is nowhere near as good as Loumari Porthole. But I didn't get enough wears out of it, so I couldn't do this type of video with a dipstick atomizer. And so Newt was like, I'll send this to you. And so he sent this to me. I have now worn Loumari Porthole probably 25 times, and I've worn God of Fire 3, not including the dipstick atomizer time, so I can give you guys the full information on each fragrance, starting with the one that I've talked about the most, which is Loumari Porthole. Loumari Porthole, it's a very easy to describe, amazing, beautiful, spectacular, tropical unisex fragrance. You need to like tropical fruits. I've heard, like, after I did my first video on this, I heard people say they blind bought it and they didn't love it. And 95% of the people that bought it after my video were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Yes, I agree. But it was the few people that they bought it and they're like, but this is like so tropical fruity. It's like, yes, it's a tropical fruity fragrance. It's gonna be dominant pineapple passion fruit. It even smells like it has a bit of mango, but it is a dominant pineapple passion fruit. Whenever I say it's the best tropical fruity fragrance out there, that is what you guys have to think. It's tropical fruity. It's unisex tropical fruity. Not leaning feminine, not leaning masculine. It's dead set right in the middle. I mean, you're smelling a pineapple, you're smelling passion fruit, you're just putting them together, and you're taking a little bit of this sea salt and iodine, which I don't know what iodine smells like, but if you smell the background of the fragrance and you can smell it, something that you haven't smelled before, it's a little bit of that iodine in the background, and then it brings a little bit more of a salty nuance to it, but then you get salt on top as well. So just picture that. Picture a roasted sea salt, pineapple, and passion fruit mix. You do get some musk in the background, as with all fragrances. You get a little bit of musk. This one is a little bit more dominant on the musk on the outside, not animalic or anything like that. And then as you get your way to the dry down, you do get a little bit of a woody nuance and some sweetness, almost like a tonka or something. But for the most part, this fragrance stays very linear and it lasts a long time. It lasts 8 to 9 hours, which for me is great on skin. It's about 6 to 7, but whenever I say 8 to 9 hours, it is on clothes during the heat. But it's about 6 to 7 on skin. And I gotta say, the fragrance, as far as projection, it's going to be about 2 to 3 feet for the remainder of the fragrance. For the first 2 hours, though, it is going to be 6 to 7 feet, almost like elixir status. It's a pretty heavy opening for the first like 1 to 2 hours, and then it's an average of about 2 to 3 feet for the next 4 to 5 hours, and then it starts to crumble down to your skin to where it's more of like an intimate skin scent. But at that point in time, this fragrance isn't used for like all day going to work, stuff like that. This is used for going to the a barbecue, to the beach, going to the pool, going like that's. It's a tropical fruity fragrance. And so, yeah, I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. It's one of my favorite fragrances out there. And a lot of people compare it to this. This is Stephanie Humbert Lucas, God of Fire. And so, again, that's what the bottle looks like. It does look really cool. It has that, like, almost like blue egg on top. And so, I tried out Moe's dipstick, and I was like, that doesn't smell nearly as good as Loumari Porthole. But then when Newt sent this to me for me to do this video in particular, I tried it on. I was like, I actually like that a lot better than Moe's dipstick. If I would have gave Moe's dipstick of God of Fire a score, it would have been like a 5.5 or a 6 out of 10. When I got this in, I was like, that's completely different. The mango's showing out. I mean, you're getting a little bit of this berry smell, a little bit of lemon. You're getting a little bit of like a semi-spiced nuance underneath it, and you're getting some ginger. With that said, it is only the opening. The opening 15 to 20 minutes of this fragrance is the reason why people talk about it, is the first 15 to 20 minutes. But that is why it is a TikTok hype frag, and it's not a YouTube hype frag. And it's because TikTok reviewers, for the most part, are all focused on that opening. And what people were thinking are like super hype frags at that point in time. And most of those people are just like walking into a Sephora smelling something and being like, yeah, that's great. No, 10 out of 10. And then people go and buy it and they're like, that's only for like 3 minutes, bro. That's why it's a TikTok hype frag. Because after 15 to 20 minutes of this fragrance, after that mango, that lemon, the ginger starts to dissipate, it's legit a super generic fragrance. It still smells okay. But for this to be compared to this, in which you get that tropical fruitiness and saltiness, super high quality, for like an 8 to 9 hour period before it even starts to dissipate on your clothes. Again, on skin, it's like 6 hours, 7 hours. This one, the performance isn't any better than that one. I mean, they're both around the same. But God of Fire, it's that mango, ginger, lemon part is actually really nice. It's super simplistic, and you can tell all the notes are very well blended. But as it starts to dry, it's more of just a generic woody, musky fragrance. You lose out on all of that mango. That mango just completely goes by the wayside. And I thought that maybe it was just me, but I have asked around, and a lot of people that are actually clear in the mind and not on TikTok, they said the same thing. The mango drops off, the lemon drops off, the ginger stays a bit, but it just comes over dominated by this kind of like musky, dusty woodiness. And that is what the rest of the fragrance is. It's super generic. It's nothing that you would call this kind of hype frag, which I don't get it. I think it still smells great, but I will never, and I mean will never, spend $200+ on this fragrance. It is not worth the money. You might think so, but again, I mean, if you love the fragrance, you love the fragrance, but there's no reason for these two to be compared because they don't even smell the same. And there's mango fragrances out there that I have smelled that are in the same realm as this that are actually much better. But with that said, as far as passion fruit pineapple fragrances go, I mean, that's what this one is. Passion fruit, pineapple, salt. This one doesn't have passion fruit or pineapple or salt. Why is these compared so much? Because it's the TikTok people that are like tropical fruits. There's tropical fruits in this one. There's tropical fruits in this one. They must be compared. They're not. They're not. They don't really smell the same at all. With that said, I mean, if you guys can't tell already, this one I'd give like a 7.5. Again, that opening is really nice. The opening is really good. I do like it. And it's like a 20 minutes of really niceness. The dry down is still like a 7.5 average generic fragrance. It's average. So I would say, I mean, if you mix together the 7 that is the dry down and the 8 that is the opening, maybe an 8.5, then you're going to meet somewhere around a 7.5, 7.7. And that's what I would give this fragrance. I still think it's good, but it's good for around like $100 to $120. If you can find it for that price, you won't. But if you can, then get it. But this one, it will be on Venba. He has 25 of these bottles coming in, and it's going to be for the best price you can find it for in the United States. Just an FYI, if you want to get it, I would just keep an eye on my community tab because I will be the first person to know when they will be in. But Lamari Porthole is the better fragrance by far. So that is my versus battle. I give Loumari Porthole a 9.5. That is, I decided it was between a 9.3 and a 9.5, and I decided it's a 9.5 for me. You have to like tropical fruity fragrances, and you need to not be scared of fragrances that might lean one way or the other, because if you have it and for you it comes off leaning feminine, you have to be okay with that. Because I mean, I'm fine with leaning feminine, I'm fine with leaning masculine, I'm fine with full unisex. It doesn't really matter. And for me, this is right down the middle of unisex. I mean, it's fruits. But anyway, yeah, that's my deal. God of Fire. It smells nice, but don't buy a bottle. Anyway, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you've tried God of Fire, and let me know what you think of God of Fire. Because I know I saw one person, out of all the people that I know on YouTube, I saw one person that likes that fragrance. It's another reviewer, and he got it in, and I saw a short, and he likes that fragrance, and I was super confused because I thought that we had similar tastes, but anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll be back with another one, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.